Hello friends, today again we are going to discuss one another special purpose diode which is largely used at microwave frequencies, and that is impact diode. Impact stands for impact ionization avalanche transit time. The structure of an impact diode is very similar to a standard Schottky or pin diode, but when looking at how an impact diode works, it can be seen to be very different. The impact microwave diode uses avalanche breakdown combined and the charge carrier transit time to create a negative resistance region which enables it to act as an oscillator. Means in case of impact diode, there are two basic mechanisms which are first the avalanche breakdown and the second is the transit time, with the help of which the impact diode create a negative resistance region, and because of this that can act as an oscillator. It describes the phenomenon associated with reverse voltage breakdown of a PN junction diode and transport or transit of charge carrier through a drift region. Now, as we know, avalanche is a process of carrier multiplication when breakdown occurs in a reverse bias mode. Now, as the nature of avalanche breakdown is very noisy and signals created by an impact diode have high levels of phase noise. In 1958, W.T. Reed proposed that there would be a phase delay of more than 90 degrees between the applied RF voltage and the avalanche current. If the RF voltage caused the total voltage to exceed the reverse breakdown voltage in the diode. So when current lags the RF voltage by more than 90 degrees, the diode exhibit negative resistance. It can be used as a source of microwave power in an oscillating circuit. And we already know that when we talk about positive resistance, it dissipate power, whereas when we say the negative resistance, it will deliver the power. Now let us discuss the impact diode theory basics. The impact diode has a very similar IV characteristics to any other form of PN junction diode. It conducts in the forward direction once the turn on voltage has been reached. In the reverse direction, it blocks current flow until the diode breakdown voltage is reached. In this point, avalanche breakdown occurs and current flows in the reverse direction. So we can see in this figure the IV characteristics of a impact diode. This is the forward conduction curve, just similar as we have already seen in case of a simple PN junction diode, and this is in the reverse bias case. After reaching this voltage, the diode breaks and the current starts conducting. Now let us see the construction of a impact diode. Now here we see this is P plus, which is a heavily doped P region. This N, this is moderately doped. This I is the intrinsic region, and this N plus is again a heavily doped N region. and this is connected, this P plus is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, and this N plus is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Now this second figure shows the doping profile concentration in case of IMPET diode. Now we can see the P plus, as we know this is highly doped, heavily doped, so the concentration here is 10 raised to power nearly about 20. So this shows the concentration of doping concentration of P plus portion of the IMPET diode, and after this shows the doping concentration of moderately doped N portion, and the doping is almost 5 into 10 to the power 16, and this portion from this point to this point, the intrinsic region, the doping concentration is 10 raised to power 13, and for N plus this, because this is also very heavily doped similar to that of P plus, so here also the doping concentration is 10 raised to power 20. Now in the third figure we can see this portion is the avalanche region, this is the space charge region, from this to this, from this to this is space charge region, and this is the drift region. This portion, this intrinsic region is here, is the drift region. Now as this P plus region, this P plus region is heavily doped, so the depletion region is mostly in N region. So we can see here the depletion region is there, lies in the N region. Then we are having a space charge region. I region is the region the carrier generated during breakdown will drift. So this is the portion where the breakdown electrons will drift. Now for its operation as a microwave signal generator, IMPET diode is operated under the reverse bias condition. These are set so that avalanche breakdown occurs. Breakdown occurs in the region very close to P plus, because that is heavily doped region. The electric field at the PN junction is very high because voltage appears across a very narrow gap, creating high potential gradient. Under these circumstances, any carriers are accelerated very quickly. As a result, they collide with the crystal lattice and free other carriers. These newly freed carriers are similarly accelerated and collide with the crystal lattice, freeing more carriers. This process gives rise to what is termed avalanche breakdown, as the number of carriers multiplies very quickly. For this type of breakdown only occurs when a certain voltage is applied to the junction. Below this, potential does not accelerate the carriers sufficiently. In terms of its operation, the IMPET diode can be considered to consist of two areas, namely the avalanche region or injection region, and secondly the drift region. These two areas provide different functions. The avalanche or injection region creates the carriers which may be either holes or the electrons, and the drift region is where the carrier moves across the diode taking a certain amount of time depend upon its thickness. Now let us see this figure. Here we have connected this impact diode with AC signal, and also we have provided the DC bias. So the total voltage AC plus DC will appear across the device, and let this be biased in such a way that P plus N junction, this junction breaks when the applied reverse voltage exceeds a threshold voltage. So DC voltage is so chosen that it is slightly below the threshold value. Let the diode be placed in a cavity and a reverse bias slightly less than the breakdown voltage is applied. Now the RF voltage present in the cavity will add to the applied bias. Breakdown will occur when RF voltage becomes positive and total voltage exceeds the breakdown voltage. And when breakdown is initiated, large number of holes and the electrons are created at the P plus N junction. This junction here where I can see, this is the junction. So because of the field, the electrons are swept across the N region into the intrinsic semiconductor, constituting the drift region. So after a transit time delay, the electrons are collected at N plus terminal. So after some transit time delay, the electrons are being collected by this N plus terminal. When the time for the avalanche charge build up plus that for charge transit through the drift region exceed 1/2 of the RF period, output current lags the RF voltage by more than 90 degrees. The diode thus exhibit negative resistance for the RF currents. So once the oscillation starts in the cavity, it grows in amplitude until the average negative resistance of the diode becomes equal to the total equivalent resistance of the cavity and external load. So at that time, steady state is reached and oscillator oscillates. Once the carrier has been generated, the device relies on negative resistance to generate and sustain an oscillation. The effect does not occur in the device at DC, but instead here it is an AC effect that is brought about by phase differences that are seen at the frequency of operation. When an AC signal is applied, the current peaks are found to be 180 degrees out of phase with the voltage. This results from two delays which occur in the device: injection delay and the transit time delay as the current carriers migrate or drift across the device. This can be seen from this particular diagram. Here this is the voltage, this is the carrier concentration, and this is the, you can see, the current. Now the voltage applied to an impact diode has a mean value where it is on the verge of avalanche breakdown. The voltage varies as a sine wave, but the generation of carrier does not occur in unison with the voltage variation. It might be expected that it would occur at the peak voltages. This arises because the generation of carriers is not only a function of the electric field but also the number of carriers already in existence. As the electric field increases, so does the number of carriers. Then even after field has been reached its peak, the number of carriers still continues to grow as a result of number of carriers already in existence. This continues until the field falls to below a critical value when the number of carriers start to fall. As a result of this effect, there is a phase lag so that current is about 90 degree behind the voltage. This is known as the injection phase delay. And when the electrons move across the N plus region, an external current is seen, and this occurs in peaks resulting in a repetitive waveform. Now let us discuss impact diode circuits. Now impact diodes are generally used at frequencies about 3 GHz or more. It is found that when a tuned circuit is applied along with the voltage around the breakdown voltage to the impact, and oscillations will occur. Compared to other devices that use negative resistance and are available for operation at these frequencies, the impact is able to produce much higher levels of power. Typically, figures of 10 or more watts may be obtained, dependent upon the device. So, this is the equivalent circuit of a impact diode. We can see the circuit here. This is the impact diode. This is the current limiting resistance, and these are the tuned circuit. Possibly because we are dealing with the microwave, so possibly it may be a waveguide. So the impact diode is driven from a supply through a current limiting resistor. The value of this limits the current to a value required. The current is passed through an RF choke to isolate the DC from the radio frequency. This is the RF choke which is going to isolate DC from AC. The impact microwave diode is placed across the tuned circuit. Here we have placed the impact diode, and this is the tuned circuit. Typically, the diode may be mounted in a waveguide cavity that provides the required tuned circuit. Once the supply voltage is applied, the circuit will start oscillating. Now, one of the main drawbacks of impact diode in its operation is the generation of high levels of phase noise as a result of avalanche breakdown mechanism. It is found the devices based around gallium arsenide technology are much better than those using silicon. This results from the much closer ionization coefficient of 4 holes and electrons. So friends, this is a little description about the impact diode. Hope this will be useful for you. Thanks for listening my lecture. For more such informative videos, you may please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks and have a very nice day.